Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm not the kind of YouTuber that uses a cool soundtrack to their montage. You're just gonna have to listen to me talk. So I only have two boards for this entire paddle. It's a 1x4, I think, or maybe it's a 1x5. I don't remember. 1x6 piece of pine and one of cedar. So I'm clamping them down. I'm using this other piece that I'm clamping to the top as a fence. I've got them lined up both below, and I'm cutting off my shaft right now, which was, I believe I did like 1.5 inch cut right here, and I'm woo, going all the way down. Nice. Okay, so those are my shafts. I'm gonna do one of each of them. This is gonna be a pretty symmetrical pattern. Kind of, you'll see the stripe design. Okay, so now I'm lining up this next cut. This is gonna be a really thin cut. I think this is, oh, this board's 3/4 thick. That would explain it. Yeah, so it's 3/4 thick. That first cut was probably an inch. And this one is going to be 3/4. So I'm going to have a 3/4 by 3/4, square round on both ends. These are going to be the strips for my paddle. Whee! Boom. Okay, there we go. So those are the thinner ones. Now you can see, I know I got it in fast forward, so it's hard to tell. Here go my square pieces, and I'm showing one of them is broken, so I'll have to repair that later. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, so now I'm these are my square pieces, 3/4 by 3/4, and I'm measuring them out to cut the pieces for the blade so I can glue them together. I think maybe I did it like 2 foot each or 2.5 foot, something like that. So there I go. Boom, that's what my paddle's gonna look like. Awesome. And I broke it there, so I'll have to glue it. Boom. Gluing half and the other half because I didn't have enough long enough clamps. So I'm just gonna, there we go. Now I'm gonna combine them together. And you can see that broken section there. So it's all being glued. Oh, I'm showing you that I did a terrible job gluing it. Terrible, terrible, terrible job gluing it. It's actually quite embarrassing. Alright, and that's where I'll have to reconnect it. I'll use some of my sawdust and wood glue to make some filler. There you go. There's the handle side, which I didn't have before. Just a couple pieces of wood up at the top. That's my wood filler, self-created to combine that broken part in. Hopefully it'll hold. And here we go. You can see the terrible job I did on gluing there. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Oh, don't even show me that. Okay, there's it. It's, uncut form. There's all the pieces glued together. That's really what you came here to see. Now I need to shape it a little bit. So I'll use this paddle, shape the handle. What do I need? Just make a couple angled lines here. Boom. It's very, very unexact. That's fine. Same here. You'll see how unexact these shoulders of the blade are. Oh, lovely. Awesome. Is this one even better? Oh yeah, way better. That's beautiful. Okay, now I don't like the shape of this paddle, so I needed a circle. I wanted a rounder edge, so just a trombone. You guys all have a trombone laying around. Just use your trombone, please. That will be great. So that gives me a nice round edge, which I really like that shape. I think it's a cool looking shape for a paddle. Alright, now I'm going to cut out the rough form, and I only have a skill saw, so that's all I'm using for this. Wish I had some better tools, but I mean, everything I do on this, the only power tools I use are my skill saw here and my grinder, which was really the MVP of the whole build. You'll see that in a second. I actually probably have too much footage of that. I tried to fast forward it, but it's still enough. Still too much, I mean. So get the big chunks with the skill saw, and here's my grinder. I've got a 40 grit grinding disc on there, and basically I'm going to bring this entire puppy to the size it needs to be with just the grinder. Yeah, and you're going to watch me. Okay, there we go. I sped up a little bit. It's just, I don't know why I kept all the footage in here. I guess because I filmed it, I felt like I had to keep it, but I should have just said, okay, you get the idea. But that's alright. Maybe it'll give me more watch time and my channel will become famous. You should check out my other paddle that I worked on, which I really like that one as well. And also check out my video with the trebuchet, which I think is a really hilarious video. I'll try to make a better one with Kevin sometime. Oh, you can see my handle there. It's a terrible handle. It's not symmetrical. I went too deep on one side. I should have marked the center point on the edges so I knew when I was getting close, but I wasn't paying attention. Ah, here we go. So now I'm examining. That's what I'm talking about. You see how ugly that is? The rest of the paddle, it's not bad. Those rounded edges, they're kind of tapered off at the blade. It actually made a really nice paddle on it. It's very quiet in the water. There's a blemish, a couple of little problems with the wood there and there. It actually had plenty of wood for my purposes for paddling. It's a little bendy, as you'll see later, but, well, oh, hey, sorry about that. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So I'm basically done now. I ended up staining it with mineral oil, oiling it with mineral oil and then putting some furniture wax on it. I want to give it kind of a natural look. I can always change that if I need to over time. When I took it on my trip, it made a great little table, cutting board, serving tray thing. And then here's some footage from the trip when I was testing it out. By the way, this paddle, this is my homemade paddle. The shorter one, it's really doing a great job. Oh, there we go, the wind stopped, so now I'm going down the river the correct way. Perfect. So now I'll just paddle normal again. Okay, let's see if this view helps. So when I draw all the water and push it back, there's a very obvious bending of the paddle. Now, it's kind of nice, or kind of fun in some ways. I just hope it doesn't break. Problem is, my right hand, or my down hand, whatever that's called, this is not very ergonomic. It would be much better if I had made it this way. This is easy to hold. This is a little too wide. It's digging into my palm there. So we need to sand on these sides, but that's only gonna make it bendier. So look at that. Look at how much it has been side to side. Overall, I was very pleased with the paddle. I had talked here, but it was too windy out on the river. So I'm just kind of reviewing it after having it for a day. The wax held up pretty well. You know, you can see all those water dots. There's a scratch there, hit a rock somewhere, probably on a rapid. I need to go easy on this thing. I don't have anything protective on it right now. I might just need to use it, you know, in the open water and use one of my beat up paddles when I get to the rapids. But I can sand this out. You know, once it dries, sand off the wax and you know, apply a coat of whatever, like polyurethane or spar urethane, whatever people are using, some kind of epoxy. I don't even know. If you guys have ideas, what do you put on your paddles? Because this is soft wood. It's a very light paddle with pine and cedar, so that's another reason it's a little bit bendy. I thought about putting a bamboo strip on that paddle, just like the one, my long one, which you got that little glimpse of right under this paddle. But yeah, look at all those little chips there. Yeah, first day out, took a little bit of a beating. But I really liked it, and it was really quiet in the water because of the way that the edges of the blade tapered off when I grinded it down. Grounded it down? Yeah, there's my long paddle there. Check out the video for that one if you haven't already. That was a beautiful paddle. Fun to make. This is my beat up paddle, so yeah, I mean that one, you know, I sand it down every once in a while, put a new coat on it, but yeah, I don't care about that as much as the one I spent, like, you know, a couple hours making. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a wonderful day.